And an inspector general's report reveals a staffer in Baltimore City reported nearly 250 hours of overtime in 1 month. And that report is prompting questions now about how the city tracks overtime spending, given current budget constraints.
Fox 45 Jeff Abel spoke to the inspector general and joins us live with an update. Jeff?
You know, that employee actually earned more than $25,000 in overtime pay in just 1 month. And tonight we're learning why verifying some of these overtime charges has been virtually impossible. At many of Baltimore's homeless shelters, the city relies on outside vendors to keep them staffed around the clock. But staffing the shelters appears to be costing taxpayers millions of dollars. A report released by Baltimore's Inspector General today raises questions about the overtime payments issued to those who staffed the shelters. In 2023, one staffer charged the city for 257 hours of overtime in 1 month. The next month, the same staffer billed the city for 144 hours of overtime. The next month, 110 hours. Over a 3-year period, the report says the city's Office of Homeless Services had shelled out $744,000 in overtime payments alone.
It's a big wake-up call that we have to strengthen our controls.
In the report, a former employee justifies the massive overtime payments, blaming them on multiple site assignments, 24-hour operations, staffing shortages, and seasonal demands. But when investigators attempted to confirm that staffers who claimed overtime had actually worked the overtime, there was a problem.
We would ask the question, you know, someone would check in their time, and when they do overtime, how can we prove that they did the time? And they said, well, they would sign in a notebook. I'm like, great, where's the notebook? Oh, that's in a warehouse.
This is the storage unit where the city's payroll information is being warehoused. It contains boxes and boxes of notebooks which staffers use to sign in and sign out of work. But investigators say many of the notebooks are unlabeled, others are mislabeled, all of it making employee overtime virtually impossible to track.
Without the evidence, we can't prove a wrongdoing. So we, as the city, have to do a better job of keeping our own records, because that's how we hold people accountable.
In response to the probe, the Director of Homeless Services says the agency has now revised its time verification process and added additional parameters to its process to ensure accountability. But the Inspector General says the measures don't go far enough.
I was just wondering if, are you confident that this has been remedied?
No. It comes down to we don't want any waste in the city, and paying someone for possibly not doing a job is complete waste.
So you're not convinced this couldn't happen again?
Oh, absolutely, it could happen again. Yeah.
Well, until now, the Inspector General says staffers have been allowed to check into work on their telephones, making it virtually impossible to determine whether they're really at work or really not. We're live tonight. Jeff Abel, Fox 45 News.
I'm Kai Jackson. Thank you for watching. Here's another video to watch. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel.